Hi and welcome to episode 43 of the This is Reportage podcast. My name is Alan Law, I'm the founder of TIR and I'm a wedding photographer too. It was an absolute pleasure to talk to the framers for this week's episode. Philippa and Rodrigo, some of the very best photographers in Portugal, have won 7 Story Awards and 5 Reportage Awards from us, and they were also judges for us back in Collection 5. Recently, they also joined us for our first live critique, which members can rewatch exclusively on the website. And to top all of that, they're just a lovely, lovely duo. A real pleasure to talk to. They share lots with us today, including talking about working together as a couple, how they came up with the Framers name, dealing with COVID, why a lot of their couples come from overseas, how street photography has had such an impact on them, the story behind one of their specific Reportage Awards, and much more. Hey both, how you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
Good. Oh, good. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. How are you both? How's things with you?
Things are good, a bit, it's, stopped this year, but we're doing okay.
Yeah, enjoying the summer for the first time in almost 10 years, so it's...
Yeah.
That's true, isn't it? That is a bit of a benefit. Yeah, and because you're in Lisbon, in Portugal, aren't you?
Yeah. In the suburbs of Lisbon. Yeah.
Nice, which is such a beautiful city. I mean, I only went there for the first time last year, but it's beautiful.
Really?
I'd never been before. You're so lucky living there. It's awesome.
Yeah, we can complain.
We love it.
What's the weather like at the moment?
Super hot, but it's good. It's good because we want to enjoy the summer in its fullest. So yeah. It's been really great that
good
part of the year. Yeah.
Good for beach, for swimming pool, and not to move a lot,
Yeah.
That is good. You're just making me really jealous because it's not like that over here in England at all. So you mentioned there obviously that you've been able to enjoy the summer a bit more, but yeah, how has it been for you guys? What's the situation been like for you, with postponements and this whole COVID thing? How are you both?
You're gonna go?
Yeah, we kind of postponed or canceled almost all of our weddings this year. So we will still have the 2 weddings that were left in September and October. But other than that, everything was postponed or canceled even. Since we do a lot of weddings with people from the UK and the United States and wherever, not from Portugal. So everyone had to cancel.
Or to postpone, yeah.
What a nightmare! And how have you both coped? Like mentally, have you been okay? Has it been? It's been a roller coaster for me. I just wondering what it's been like for you.
I think that's a good word to describe it. A bit of a roller coaster, but since I think the start of the summer, I've just decided that I'm going to enjoy the summer with my family because really I don't have much time with them the past few years. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy that, and then I will worry after.
Yeah, we're trying to let the worries to 2021, and for now we're trying to enjoy the situation as we can.
Yeah, make the best of it. Yeah, for now.
That is such a good way of looking at it. Definitely, that's super good. You mentioned there as well. Then, so are most of your weddings, when you do shoot weddings, before this COVID kind of time, is the majority of your weddings, are they kind of non-Portuguese couples then?
True. Yeah.
Yeah, like more than 90%. So.
Oh wow, cool. It's a big. And how is that? Is that something that you've like specifically targeted, that kind of destination market, or is it just something that has happened naturally?
Yeah, it happened naturally because I think when the venue started to recommend us, they target their marketing is for foreigners. So when they recommend us, people see our work, they like us, and then they book us, and then so we started to have a lot of demand, and so we could grow and help me here with the
I don't know the word. But yeah, it was very natural. It started like with very few weddings. We started only with Portuguese, and then every year we had more and more and more from the other countries, and I think it happens. It has to do with the time where the couples reach us. Probably people that are coming from another country book us earlier, and it has to do a bit with the pricing, of course, also. But yeah, it's been like this for the past years.
We do have some inquiries from Portuguese couples, but usually the ones that book us are not from Portugal.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So they're Portuguese, but still don't live in Portugal.
Sorry?
Oh no, sorry. No, I thought you meant like the Portuguese couples that you get still don't live in Portugal. I thought that was what you were meaning, but no.
Sometimes they don't. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, that's interesting though, and I guess. I mean, I think I have quite a varied job with the weddings. You know, each weekend are different, but you're also seeing lots of different kind of then cultures and nationalities every weekend. It must be really cool seeing all that.
Yeah,
it's very interesting actually. You can definitely notice differences between the cultures of each country. Not probably the culture, but at least the way people behave towards it. You know, you can definitely get some things.
Yeah, some patterns. But
really?
One of the things that we've noticed as well is that since people are coming from other countries to a wedding in another country, they come in vacation mode. So, and they have to stay a few days. So the weddings usually the weddings we do are really relaxed because people are really enjoying themselves because they are not thinking about working the next day or working the next week because they're
going home too soon.
They're really on vacation and they don't know they don't know the protocols around here. You know, they just they accept things as they are. They're not expecting too much because they're in another country. They don't know the culture here and the things that are normal here on a wedding. So I think they're more open to other stuff. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's very great.
Oh man, nice. It sounds lovely. And I get a little bit of that because I live in Cornwall, which is like the very southwest of England, and quite a few couples actually go to Cornwall to get married. You know, if they're having a UK wedding, lots of kind of people from London come to Cornwall. So it's a bit like a mini holiday for them, but not on the big scale of that you guys have of people coming from like America to Portugal or England. But I get a little bit of that,
Yeah. Well, sometimes we get people that it's their first time in Europe or their first time abroad. That's so fun.
Yeah, it happens a lot with the Americans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I bet. Wow, that's really cool. Oh, cool, good stuff, good stuff. And Lisbon's such a magical place to come and get married. Yeah, I loved my time there. It's a beautiful place. Have you guys did you grow up in Lisbon?
Yeah, we grew up in the suburbs of Lisbon, where we live now.
Yeah, but the suburbs of Lisbon are small, so it's like 20 minutes ride to the city center.
Sure.
All right, okay. And one line I love from your website about page, by the way, and you say, "We are a couple, and photography was what brought us together," which I think is so romantic. It's so romantic. Can you?
Cliche, right?
Can you tell us a bit more about that though? How you came to be how photography was part of it? So good.
Well, it's true. It's actually true because when we met in high school, but we got together a bit on high school, but then we grew apart, and then we met again in college.
Okay.
We studied the same thing at the same college.
And what was that? What did you study?
We studied civil engineer, both of us.
Okay. Right.
So when we were there, we talked again, and we knew that each of us was into photography, and then
as a hobby.
Yeah, so
really amateur and really bad.
Super bad, yeah. But it was a common interest, and it was something that we really talked about for a while, and so that's why we say that photography was what brought us together. Because
before that we weren't even almost talking, so. That's the thing that was the trigger to get us talking again.
And it was an excuse to talk to each other as well.
Oh, that's really cool, and it is romantic. It's like it is like a little line from like a romantic comedy or something. They should do a film.
Yeah, it could be.
And also on your about page, though, you say that you started as street photographers and the jump to weddings was very gradual. Can you tell us more about that then? Your kind of whole photography journey, how you went
Yeah.
from street photography to weddings, and yeah, how did it happen?
No, it's Rodrigo's turn.
Yeah, so I think it was after we graduated, we were working as engineers, but we still were very fond of photography.
Yeah.
And we used to go with friends on weekends. We used to go out and take photos, mostly street photography, at least at first, because then we gathered more to have big lunches and drink a bit, and
Yeah, no
so
photography.
it stopped the photography on that part. but yeah, it kind of showed us we like to shoot people and emotions and things that weren't too staged,
Mm.
And looking to the wedding industry at the time, we were like, we couldn't relate to what was being done back then, So
Yeah, what kind of year was this then? What kind of time?
So probably this started almost in 2010.
10, yeah.
So
10.
we were
Okay.
shooting weddings back then.
Right.
It was when we started to think about the possibility. And back then I searched for companies looking for photographers to work with them,
Mm-hmm.
like the real underdog, underpaid job. Because I haven't been on a wedding before that for more than 10 years ago.
Right.
So
Okay.
I didn't know what was expected. I didn't know how a wedding was. Last time I've been to one was on I was a kid. So yeah, I wanted to see a bit of the industry, how a day is, and then I started to apply to loads of companies. I was still an engineer by then, and then some photographers accepted me.
Okay.
And for 1.5 years or 2 years, I worked with them, and yeah, so I figured, okay, I can see how a day is. I can see what people expect. I can see there's a room for us. Felipe was also seeing everything, and
Yeah, I was seeing everything, but I wasn't thinking of becoming a wedding photographer at all at the time. I was in my engineering job, and I would see Rodrigo's attempts in wedding photography, and that's great. That's great. That's amazing, but yeah, not for me.
Yeah, I get that.
But since we would go out as street photographers together, I knew she could do it as well.
And I really wanted to. I didn't want to feel that I was, getting behind on my photography, skills. So I went along with Rodrigo.
I think what was preventing her from moving forward was that she was very early in her career as engineer.
Okay.
And she wanted to focus more on that,
Yeah, that makes sense.
We had a lot of trouble doing during our college years to give up on that just after we graduated.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it was quite soon then, was it, after you'd graduated that you went into weddings then in the end?
Yeah, it started as like we did both at the time, So it was only when we had a really good amount of weddings in a year, we decided, okay, we can now quit and let's see how this goes. But of course, it's always a big step.
Yeah, it was like we got to a point where it was impossible to keep both things. So we had to make a decision, and Rodrigo was completely unhappy in his job. Okay. I was more or less, because I liked what I did, but the job itself wasn't great. The payment wasn't great as well.
Right.
So I think the decision was, simple to make at the time.
That's good. You made the right decision then as well. I think when someone's not happy as well, that's just so important. Yeah, how before you made that decision, how did you get your kind of very first wedding? As your kind of first paid solo. Well, did that first? Have you always shot together? Did Rodrigo? Did you go and shoot weddings on your own then first?
I think
Yeah.
I've done one or two, probably. Yeah,
Right.
You've done, yeah, one alone before and one with Hui.
yeah. That's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I did, but it was really in the transition. So I think by then I already probably have had weddings with Felipe programmed, or scheduled.
Okay.
So yeah, I can't remember properly actually.
I'm not sure. I think you've done those two weddings, the one alone and the one with the other friend before, and then it helped us to schedule that wedding,
Okay.
our first wedding
Okay.
together. It was from a friend as well, but he
Right.
had to see something, so we showed him Rodrigo's pictures, and he agreed. So that was our first wedding.
Yeah, we started really down low, so we were cheap.
Super cheap.
We had a lot of weddings on the first years, and things really went very natural for us. We saw, okay, we are really cheap and we are having too much demand, so let's put the prices a bit higher and see how it goes. And it always,
Yeah, I think that's how we came up with mostly only foreign weddings. It was really, really gradual because, you know, we had a lot of weddings and a lot of demand, a lot of requests, so we could, put our prices higher,
Mm.
and then that's how it happened.
That's great. Yeah, and that totally makes sense to do business-wise as well. And what is it like then as a couple, like shooting together, working together, living together? What is it like? I mean, I can't. I love my wife, and you've met my wife, but honestly, I can't imagine working with her all the time as well.
Yeah.
Do you have specific roles? Do you ever fall out or have little arguments or anything, or is it continual bliss?
yeah, of course, it's
Yeah,
continuous bliss.
it's amazing every time, all the time. No. No,
No,
but working together, it's not like photography or wedding photography. We can work side by side, not together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
because I don't know. So at the wedding, we shoot as independent photographers, except for the ceremony, maybe because we try not to move a lot. So my role is to stay closer to the bride and groom, and Rodrigo is on the back of the church, more or less.
Okay.
But other than that, we shoot like independent photographers during the day, and then we split all the work more or less equally.
Yeah,
So
cool.
yeah.
So not one just doing all the editing while the other one's watching
No.
Netflix or anything, no?
Oh yeah, sure. No. No. But for example, Rodrigo is more on the emails and clients contacts and stuff like that. I'm more
Okay.
on the albums, but on the editing part, it's really split. So
Oh,
if we have 20 weddings, I'll get 10. He gets 10.
yeah, and we do one mine, one hers, one mine, one hers. So that's how
ah,
we divide it.
that's cool. That's very fair. That's like you're like a married couple there. So do you alternate the culling as well then? It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just one. Yeah. Oh, that's
yeah.
good.
Each
Yeah.
wedding it belongs to one of us only.
Yeah,
So
Ah,
the
that's
person who
clever.
does the culling does the editing and finishes the wedding.
yeah.
Does the other one not kind of look over your shoulder and go, "Ooh, I wouldn't have edited it like that," you know?
We normally have too much work to that
Yeah,
for
yeah.
that. So once anyone finishes a wedding, we say congratulations.
Yeah.
Now go to the next one.
I get that. I get that. That's cool. And while we're talking about that, we've got to talk about the story behind your brand name. I love the Framers. It's a great name. How did you come up with that? Did you have disagreements about that, or was it?
Yeah, it was hard to find the name.
Mm.
We had our first name was Super Geek. It was
It was, yeah.
F 2.0.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, love it. I like that though, with the two of you as well, and yeah, that's cute.
But then a guy came and took the name. I think it wasn't on purpose for guy, but yeah. So we lost the name because it was really in the at start. We didn't
Right, okay.
register it, or so we had to choose another name. And by then, the Framers was our personal blog.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was the blog where we put our photos from trips and from concerts and from whatever photos we did, we put it under the Framers. And so
Okay.
we tried, when we decided we needed a new name. We went out a weekend, like a weekend out, just to have fun, both of us. But we had this task to find a new name, and we couldn't. So since we couldn't, we had to keep the Framers.
A name to fall back up, but it's a great name originally. Anyway, the Framers. That's a great name, though.
The name itself, it came up. I think I from what I can remember, I wanted to have a name like a band, like Beatles or something like that. So I wanted the name there, and then I think we've wanted to make it photography wise somehow, and I think it was Rodrigo that came up with Framers. So
very cool. It's a good mix then of you both as well. No, I think it's a great name. It is really cool. It's a really memorable name, really photography specific, but also you can talk about in the kind of a life sense as well, and framing life, and so it's a very grand name as well. It's great.
We never thought of it when we had it, because it was, like I said, it was natural. We couldn't find a better one, so this one we got this one. But in the end, it actually worked really well.
And I remember at the time I wanted maybe a Portuguese name, but then I'm so glad we didn't, because we have a lot of foreigners as clients. So it's good to have a name that they can easily, say.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, even on that, it worked really well.
How do you say the Framers in Portuguese?
Oh, it's horrible in Portuguese.
Actually, people have a way to call us like.
That's so funny. Go ahead.
Because sometimes we have like a community here, and people, if you're busy, you send the wedding to another photographer that is your friend and you trust. And one time we had some friends that got this email that say, so I contacted these guys and they say they are busy, and their name are the Farmers. So after that, of course, we are not the Framers anymore for the community.
Yeah.
You're the Farmers.
Like farmers,
yes.
So that's how people call us in Portugal.
Okay, that's funny. I should call you that from now on. I like that.
Yeah, I believe it.
Go ahead.
Let's make it official.
That's funny. And because you both speak such good English, that must be so handy for doing all these kind of weddings for UK people and American people. They must love that as well, that you speak English so well.
Well, yeah, I think so. I think they are grateful.
Yeah, normally they don't complain.
Yeah, that's
it becomes very, very natural. Yeah.
I just don't understand how you speak English so well. I just wish I could speak a different language like you two can. You're doing a podcast interview. You're not even seeing my mouth, and it's just so good. Do you learn English from when you're 2 years old or something? How does it work?
We had how many years? At least 7 or 8 years of English in school.
Yeah. So we start English very, very soon in school, but we even before that we have a lot of English television here from the United States and from the UK.
In Portugal we don't sub. That's dub. We don't dub.
Okay.
So we always get the English versions of American or English content for
cool.
shows. Yeah. So we get a lot of content from.
So I remember being really, really young. I couldn't even read at the time, but I could see MacGyver. Do you know MacGyver?
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
Okay, that's a shock. But okay, MacGyver was big here in Portugal back then, and I
Okay.
could see MacGyver and understand everything, more or less.
Wow, that's
Even,
mad. Before
even
reading.
our cartoons, they were subtitled and we couldn't read, you
So,
know.
yeah.
So
Oh, that's cool. That makes sense, though. Yeah. Oh, wow. Cool. And also, with your doing all these weddings with people traveling, I guess so that means you're never really ever meeting them in the flesh before the wedding. Do you do kind of like Skypes or FaceTimes, or how do you do your client liaisons and things?
Yeah, we do Skype mainly, and then if they come before to test the food and see the venue, we say to them, please get in touch, and we'll go out for a drink or something. Yeah.
yeah, if they
Right.
live in Europe, they normally come like some months before to taste the food and that, and sometimes we can arrange to meet them,
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
and that's very helpful.
but it happened one or two times where I arrived at the place and I didn't knew which of the girls was the bride.
Mhm.
I had
Yeah.
to. That's not great, but
And it's even worse with the groom because the bride normally has more people around her, but the groom just another guy.
yeah,
That's true, isn't it? That is true.
And since we do mostly with Skype, like 1 year and a half before the wedding, normally we don't see them. We don't see anymore, so we don't have a clue about their faces sometimes.
Yeah, totally forget, don't you?
So yeah, sometimes it's a bit.
yeah, but that doesn't happen
Yeah,
that
it's
often.
it's not very often.
No.
Oh man, I do. I totally forget what they look like. I do. I think even if I've met them about a month beforehand, I forget what they look like. I'm like, I'm just really bad. I think that way. I'm really bad. Cool. Let's change tack slightly. Let's change tack. Okay. Let's go. Well, I mentioned Netflix earlier. Are you watching any good series at the moment? Do you watch much TV then?
We used to, but not lately. No.
Oh, really? No. Oh, cool. Are you just like sunbathing all the time now then?
Maybe,
Or-
yeah. We spent August away from home completely.
Really, the whole month? That's...
Yeah, the whole month.
So we didn't even have computers or so
Oh,
Not
wow.
even internet, more or less.
yeah, really
What
bad
was
internet.
what was that like being like off the grid then? What was that like?
Amazing.
Oh, it's good. It's like you wake up, you take a breakfast, you go to the swimming pool, and then you see
Man.
what do you have to do before lunch, and then you have lunch, you drink,
Oh,
then you rest a bit, you go to the swimming pool again or the beach or.
man, that sounds so good. I think before breakfast, I've like checked Facebook 4 times, my emails about 3 times, and
Oh, no.
oh
Yeah,
no, I
and
need.
even with the poor internet connection we were having, we couldn't even do that. So it helps on that part.
I
Yeah.
understand that. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
that's
great. I got
that.
to spend time with my nephew, which is so hard, especially because of
Spend
COVID
time
as
with the
well.
nephew, not the nephew.
Yeah.
Spending the time with the nephew. Poor guy.
Oh, how old is your nephew?
It's 5.
Oh, that's a cute. My son is 5. It's a gorgeous age.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
to spend time in the swimming pool with him this year.
oh, nice. Oh, jealous. You know, I've not. I live only. I'm lucky in Cornwall. I live only eight minutes from the sea, but I just don't. I don't swim in the sea at all. Have you ever swam in the sea in England?
No.
No, you're
Is it
wise.
possible?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to wear a wetsuit or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't fancy
Do you
that.
know the temperature there or
Oh, I have no idea. It's just cold,
water?
very cold.
Yeah.
No idea. But it's
Even
freezing.
here we find it's very cold. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. If you could choose one day in your life to live over and over again, like Groundhog Day. Have you seen Groundhog Day?
Yes,
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it? Anything with Bill Murray in is brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could choose one day to live over and over again, which day would you choose?
It's so hard. It's
I
a
know.
big
It's really
question.
bad question for people with bad memory.
It is tricky, isn't it? I don't know what I would choose to live over and over again.
I think you'll have to cut the time out from this interview.
No, it's going to be one long take with no edits. No edits.
No edits. Oh,
No edits. No edits. No.
not even this part. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
People can like the way we can just say, I could change the question though.
Well,
Maybe we will think while we're talking.
no, that's not good.
That's a really tough question.
Well,
Even the guy on Groundhog Day, he wasn't happy about it.
yeah, no.
True. That's true. I love the way that film, even though I've seen it about 20 times, I kind of forget when the ending is going to be because there's so many repeats, isn't there? I love
I
it.
actually have to see it again. I haven't seen it for more than 10 years, I guess.
Oh, really? Wow. No, you should.
See at least once every year.
Yeah, exactly. On Groundhog Day, you should watch it. It feels like a Christmassy film to me, although it's not a Christmas film, but it feels Christmassy, I think.
Well, it's around Christmas or not? Around
Yeah, I
holiday.
think it's February, I think.
Oh,
I think it's
okay.
but I'm not sure. But I love Andy McDowell as well, the main woman in it. I love Andy
Yeah.
McDowell. Have you seen Four Weddings and a Funeral?
Yes, I was going to to mention that.
Philippa's main reason for going into weddings. No,
Really? Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Do you like it though? It is a good
Love
film.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, it's like I don't like her character at all on the movie, but the rest of the movie is amazing.
Oh, really? Lots of people say that. I think she's great in it. I love her in that. I love it.
She's a great actress, but the character itself, I don't really like her.
Oh, really? Yeah.
She's weird.
It's quite. Yes. Okay, let's change question. We can think about that one in the background anyway. We can
Okay.
think about that. Yeah. What drives you in life? What motivates both of you? To be doing, in the weddings or just an overall driver for you in life.
So you've changed to a harder question.
Yeah. I don't want to make this easy.
Do you have an answer to this question?
I don't know. I think I will answer very easily. I don't have any. We are not very deep persons on that things. I don't have a purpose in my life. I don't have a real thing that I want to do. It's not a big plan. I really want to live well and have fun and enjoy what I do and try new things and be creative, be able to be creative, and that's about it. So I can't be more. It's not probably a great answer, but
No, I think honestly, I think that's a great answer. Yeah, it's just appreciating life, and you don't have to have big set plans and things.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm struggling this year because until now I think I was always sprinting to everything. So I was studying college and then I went to work as an engineer, and it was I was really tired all the time. It was long hours, and then we started doing weddings, so it cut even more my free time. And then we decided, okay, I'm just gonna do wedding photography, and we had so much work that it was always I couldn't think about things. I was just
we thought we would have time being wedding photographers,
but no. So I was always working and going forward and not stopping to think about things. So now I had to stop, and then I started to think about things, and then it was really weird to try to come up with the answer to your question, because I've made that question to myself, and I couldn't get a better answer than Rodrigo's. I don't have a plan. I don't have an objective. I just want to, have a full life where I have fun and do good things.
Yeah. I think that's great. Honestly, both of you. I think that's just brilliant. That is living life and being happy. That you can't. There's nothing more in life than that. I think. It's great. It's super. I just love questions about kind of life and happiness and things. I just find it really, really interesting. Let's do another question. I like this. This is good.
I'm scared.
Looking back at life or business or both, are there things you would have done differently?
Yeah, I think I would, choose a different college degree.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But then you might not have met each other properly then, though.
It's well, I'm not sure because
Probably would have choose the same different colors.
Oh, yeah.
well, yeah, maybe, yeah, I don't know, but we would definitely be at the same college.
Okay, yeah.
So
I
yeah,
don't know.
maybe, probably.
Because if I would have chosen a different degree, probably I wouldn't even have to go to sciences or I
Oh,
don't
really?
know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe now I would go to something more creative or artistry or I don't know. Since it's the business I'm in
Yeah.
a bit,
Makes
why
sense.
not? I don't know.
I find it's very interesting that whole kind of if you change one thing, the
Yeah,
the
yeah.
butterfly effect or what it would change. Have you seen Sliding Doors, the film?
No,
Not
no,
that
Oh,
one.
okay. Or Run Lola Run, the
no.
German.
For
Oh,
Lola,
okay.
I've seen it. I guess I've seen it, but I can't really remember.
Oh, okay. I think in Run Lola Run, it's like just 15 minutes that changes slightly. Well, it has a big effect when she just is slightly late or slightly early and things. It has just a massive effect on what happens. And I just find that really interesting. If you change one little thing, that the big effect that it could possibly had on your life. What would you have studied then if you didn't do what you did?
Well, I would probably study maybe astronomy or
Oh,
uh,
wow.
computer science. I don't know how to say that in English, but you
Oh,
know.
no, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah,
that's
I was
interesting.
actually really. I was even in talks with a teacher of astronomy but Philippa, I think she never knew this because we weren't talking by then. But I changed a few emails with
I knew that.
yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, then I thought, what will I do if I go to astronomy? It's like I don't know if this has any opportunities job wise, and I went to the easy solution that was civil engineering by then. Then when we finished the degree, it was like the worst possible job to have, or
Oh, really? Why was it not? Why?
because we finished just after the crisis.
Oh, right.
So
Okay.
all the construction and public
Uh,
investment were completely stopped.
right.
So in the 3 years we worked as civil engineers, we always worked for other countries as well.
Yeah.
So Angola, Brazil, Mozambique.
I think that is one of the things that would do a butterfly effect if it weren't for the crisis. I think we would get a normal job and maybe stay with it. I think.
Yeah, and then you might not have ever done weddings, and
Yeah, probably.
We
Mhm.
probably would be a lot more miserable.
yeah, totally. And the world would be without your awesome imagery as well, and all your happy couples. So it's cool how things work out, isn't it? I do think things happen for a reason. They do.
Yeah, and I think wedding photography really opened our minds so much because we knew so many people so different from so
completely different backgrounds. Yeah,
yeah, it's really really good
that's
to
very interesting on
see
this
other
job.
to see other perspectives and how other realities completely different from ours. It's really really good.
That's so true, isn't it? Yeah, that is so true. Yeah, to get that insights into different worlds every weekend is something that a lot of people don't get really. It's very cool. Let's go back to your photography because you've won, I think it's 7 story awards from us, which is a crazy amount. So good. Can you give us any tips about the story awards in particular? Perhaps from both like a shooting angle, but also from the angle of how you choose the 15 to 20 images that you submit.
Well, to choose the pictures, we just try to choose the best.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense.
Well,
We've tried several approaches, I guess.
oh
we
yeah.
are being a bit attacked now by our dog. I think she.
Oh yeah.
But
Sorry.
Oh, cute. What dog have you got? What dog?
so she's a big.
I don't know if you have a name for this in English. Do you have?
If you look for Irish wolfhound in Google,
Oh, okay.
very similar but a lot smaller.
Yeah, it's a normal size because the dog Rodrigo is talking about is giant. He's like as big as a car sometimes. Or
Oh,
small.
really? Wow. Nice.
But no, our dog is normal in size. But she
Oh, okay.
so quiet.
What was the question? Sorry, because of it.
No, well, it's just about tips for the story awards.
Okay.
Yeah. But how about from a shooting angle? Because you guys capture so many moments and capture it so creatively. What is the key for consistently creative coverage? It's a big question, isn't it? That's a big question.
Yeah.
we take a lot of pictures on a wedding day. So
Yeah, that helps.
I think sometimes we see a thing we like or a scene we like, and you try to, after you take the picture, you try to make it better. You know, if it's still going on, we try to probably get more elements on the picture, have a better light, have better angle. So for the same scene, we always try to if we can, because sometimes it's just 1 second thing, but
and sometimes we follow people. So like we say that, okay, this is a person that will probably do something interesting, or I don't know, we see someone passing by with a lot of stuff in their hands, or stuff like that. We follow them, and we start shooting even before things are happening. So I think that's one of the tips.
That's a good tip.
And I think that part has to do a bit, what Filippo was saying, has to do a bit with what we do in street photography, or what we try to do. And in weddings, we have the availability to do it however we want. We are not trying to hide from people. We are not trying. So we have full entry pass to to not bother the people, but try to work with them. Try to work around them, and without being too concerned that they kick us off.
Yeah, that makes sense. And do you still do street photography now?
Yeah, more or less. Like I really, really wanted to do more, but this year I'm completely off. I'm taking a year off of photography, I guess. So
yeah, kind of semi-enforced.
Yeah. Not many people in the streets. Well, now more, but in the past few months, Lisbon was completely empty, more or less. Yeah.
That must be surreal. Did you walk around when it's that kind of empty, or did you stay inside yourself?
We couldn't even go there because since we live in the suburbs, we weren't allowed to go to the city center.
Oh, really? Wow.
We could only be on our area. This on the really when the things were really under control, then it stopped, of course.
Right. Okay. Oh, it's mad, isn't it? Oh, it is such a mad time. I'd like to talk about one of your specific Reportage Awards as well that I particularly love. Is the one with the hug in the middle, which is framed between a couple hugging on the left and another couple kissing on the right of the frame. You also wrote about it in our recent group piece about images that have had a lasting impact on you. Yes. It's an awesome image. Can you tell us a bit more about that frame? That frame, look, pun. There's the frame and the framers.
So yeah, that picture was taken, I think, in 2016, and back then we had 2 full years of wedding photography with a lot of weddings. So I think in 2014 we had 40 weddings or 42. So it was really a lot. And more or less the same, a bit less in 2015. And then, so we got to think a bit more about what we wanted to do. And in 2016, that's when we really started, okay, which path we want to take. But not really, we didn't, sit down and think it really through or, write down the objectives. We just started to think a bit more about it.
And we talked about pictures we liked and things that kind of motivated us, Mm-hmm. Yeah. So those were the things we wanted to do.
Yeah. And one of the things I remember was to include in one picture, not all of the story, but maybe more than one story. Mm-hmm. Or, a lot of things in one picture. And I remember taking that particular picture at Meredith and Sessions' wedding. And he's Indian. So they were all, dressed with those Indian, thanks. and it was just after the ceremony, and people were hugging and kissing. And then I think to myself, so Rodrigo is over there. I'm closer to the bride and groom. I'll try to take the picture of the kiss between the bride and her father, the groom and her mother, and stuff like that. And then when I thought, okay, maybe I have, those safe shots of everyone. alone, I started to walk around and I started to take a few steps back, and I see the hug in the middle. So I took that picture, just that hug in the middle, and then I take a few steps back, and other things were included in the picture. I saw in the corner of my eye the other hugs, and then I include them, and that's how it happened.
Yeah, and if you see the pictures Philippa took, you can see the progress on that. So it's very cool.
Oh, that is cool. Oh, we should do that for This Is How on the site, where you could show those the other images, because I just find that really interesting to hear about how you captured that. And because it's such a great frame. It's I've got to stop saying frame. I'm not saying it on purpose. But just like, I can only say frame. But yeah, if anyone's listening to this, whilst running or something, do head to the site, thisreportage.com, and I'll include that image that you just spoke about. It's great. It's so interesting to hear, your thought process behind it. Yeah, it's really, really, really cool. Okay, let's go on. I've got so many questions, and I just it's just yeah, limited time. Have you? I like this question. Have you made any memorable mistakes?
Memorable mistakes. Well, this is not good to say, but
yeah.
It's
never.
We've
never
booked,
good.
We've booked 2 weddings for the same day.
Oh no, nightmare.
But we noticed before the day.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, do you imagine if it was just the morning and you're both going, oh, I'm going here, no, we're going somewhere else. Oh man. How did you how did you handle that? That must have been horrible.
We were completely honest with the second couple, the couple that booked us after.
Oh yeah.
And we told them the situation and helped them find a new photographer.
Oh,
yeah, we felt really, really bad.
Yeah.
It was a decisive moment for us to bring a client manager software.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't feel too bad, because that happens so often. I think that is a common thing.
It's a nightmare.
Oh. Yeah, I'm touching wood. as I'm talking to you now. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And you talk.
Also, sorry.
Sorry, you go on. No, you go on.
As a memorable mistake, sometimes there's the gap between the end of dinner and the starting of the dance. Sometimes you never know when it will happen, or you never know how things will be, and you're hoping someone will tell you. Yeah. And sometimes we're not even on the same room of the couple.
Because we are eating somewhere else.
So it had happened to me that I reached the dance floor really close to the end of the dance. But luckily I'm with Philippa.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing about being with her. She's very responsible and very and I can trust her not to fail on these times.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That is handy, having the two of you in that way.
He's missed the wedding cutting as well, a wedding cake cutting as well.
Yeah, this has happened. This gap after dinner, it's a bit difficult on me.
But you know what? It's actually quite freaky, because I've missed a cake cutting as well. And at my very first wedding, I was talking to a guest on a balcony, and then they started the first dance, and I got luckily like the last minute or last 30 seconds. But it can happen. It can happen, can't it?
And if no one tells you, and you can't hear the difference, or
we're human. We're humans, aren't we? We're humans. Talking of the first dance, though, which is, it's always something that differs quite a lot from photographer to photographer. How they capture the first dance. Do you have a certain approach? Or any tips, or do you always light them the same way, or is it different? How do you do your first dance?
We've been changing it a lot through the years, also because of the equipment that has been changing a lot, and the cameras are now a lot better and handle poor lights a lot better. We also try to talk with the guy of the lights on the day,
okay.
Like the DJ or someone near to the DJ. But yeah, at start when we started, we used to put some tripods with flashes and shoot through it towards them,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And actually, it made quite a sensation by then because no one was doing it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I think we sold some weddings with those pictures
Cool.
at
Yeah.
start. But then we started to get really bored with them because they always look the same, So we tried to change it a lot. And nowadays we normally both shoot with 2 cameras each, and one camera normally has the flash and the other doesn't. So we try to use a lot the lights that are there, We try not to use flash a lot, even on the dance floor, even on the first dance. Sometimes it's impossible. Sometimes it's just some honorable lights, and we have to light it with the flash. But if we want to work with the lights that people are seeing, and they are much more interesting to us and to the ambience of that we'll get in the picture.
That's true, and as you said, it's and more varied between each wedding, aren't they, as well?
Yeah. Completely. It's a challenge, but with the cameras we have now, it's a lot more a reasonable challenge.
Right. Yeah.
It's easier.
Yeah.
What are you shooting with now? What do you use?
We are on Sony.
Cool.
We work
and me.
And now we're on Sony. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I went from Canon 5D Mark III to Sony A9. I love it.
Oh yeah. That's a big improvement.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I shot my first 2 years of wedding on a crop, like on a 7D actually.
Oh.
I know. Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, I could never go higher than like ISO 1600, for that first 2 years.
And even on that, you can notice it.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, that was a big jump. You were judges for us back in Collection 5, which thank you again. It's awesome. That's quite a long time ago now, actually, isn't it? Collection 5. How did you find judging? Did you learn anything from being judges yourselves? And as judges, do you have any tips for people submitting?
Well, tips. Well, I think when I was seeing the pictures, I'm going to say something very, very obvious, but they have to be really memorable, the pictures. So because there are so many, I saw them twice. And the first time I saw it quite quickly, and I would, select the image that was really, this one for sure. It has to be quite a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's a picture of things that everyone shoots or the situation everyone shoots, it's like Filippo said, it really must stand out, because other than that, it's just one more picture in the middle of thousands. And
that's so true.
But yeah, it's not a big advice.
But it is interesting.
It's obvious, but
there's another thing. I think we've talked about this on the photo critique we've done with you as well.
Oh yes, yep, cool. Yep.
It's the almost picture, because sometimes we do see a lot of them, and even we do those. We do a picture that it's almost there. The moment is there, but the composition, for example, is quite off or not great. And so it's hard to, put those pictures in the trash, but they're not,
price-worthy.
Yeah, price-worthy. Yeah.
I think that's really good advice, though. That is really good advice. Yeah, and it's difficult for some people to walk away from images like that, isn't it? It's that
for everyone, because it's almost there. The moment is there. I have a lot of pictures that I delivered to the clients because there's the moment, it's there, and it's great. But to put on my portfolio, it's not quite there. It's not perfect enough.
Yeah, and we are actually very honest with each other on that. Normally, we try not to be rude, but if one of us is very excited, the other probably will say, "Yeah."
That's interesting, actually. Yeah. Do you ever like completely disagree? Like one of you will think this is like the best image I've ever taken, and the other one will be like, no, that's not good. Does that happen?
Well, almost like that, but not that much. Not the big gap between our opinions. But sometimes it happens. I think it's an emotional attachment to the image because you've taken it and it's good. It's a good moment. But the other has a more pragmatic look on the picture.
Right.
So
Yeah,
you
that makes
can
sense.
evaluate it more. How do you say that?
And it's personal. So if sometimes, for example, I really like a photo that Philippa took. So I'm not emotionally attached to it on that part, and she doesn't like it that much. So it's
sometimes it happens.
it's very, I don't know. We are very honest on that. So
That's cool.
sometimes we lunch each other on different parts of the house after those fights, but that's the way it is.
That's funny. That's funny. Okay, let's change tack again. Let's go to an easy question, maybe. I don't know. Actually, no. What I love putting people on the spot. It's really fun. It's really fun. What are you afraid of?
Oh, now I'm afraid this next year it's like this one.
Oh yeah, I probably shouldn't ask that question, should I? Actually, there's a very obvious thing to be afraid of. But
It's completely on my mind now. I can't be afraid of anything else now, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, but it is such a big deal for us all, though, isn't it? It's
And even if the weddings get back, because they will, and there are some weddings already happening. If they don't happen the same way, it will completely transform our job in. I don't see it can be in a positive way,
Yeah.
No, I agree.
If we lose the parties, if we lose all the gatherings, it will only. Well, for some people, if it's a photographer that shoots mostly portraits and the couple, for them probably it's even better. For us, it will be tough. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's no plus side for us, I think, but it's got to be good. It's going to be okay. I am positive about it. It's got weddings are such a staple in society, in life. People they need that big event, that big celebration, that big kind of announcement of their kind of love, and it's just got to come back.
Yeah, some way or another, they will keep happening.
Yeah.
Oh man, let's not get maudlin. Let's not get. I'm not gonna.
Well, I do have a fear that is not COVID related. So
Okay, good.
I think I'm afraid of not evolving or stop evolving in photography.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I don't know, maybe COVID has been good for this part because we've been doing so many weddings. Maybe we're burned out of it. So now we could stop. So maybe that's a good thing. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm afraid we, stop doing good things.
I think we're afraid to stop being motivated about it. If you go there and you're not like into it, we won't be able to make it the same way you used to. If you're just there to get the money and take some pictures and go home, it will not work out.
Yeah.
No, that's so true. But you two are so passionate about this, and you can hear that in your voices. I don't think you should ever be afraid of that.
Well, maybe it's a good thing we have this fear because it means it means a lot to us. What I meant. I said mean a lot, but I think it's if we have this fear, it's because we value this.
Yeah.
So that's a good.
That's true. That's true. That's like how people say it's good to have nerves still before shooting a wedding because it shows that it's still so important to you, and you value it. Do you get nervous before shooting weddings?
Yeah, before I do.
Yeah. Do you not, Philippa? No.
Before getting there, maybe the day before, not on the wedding day normally, or after getting to them,
I get nervous a bit when I start shooting near the bride at the getting ready part because I'm a bit shy and I have to introduce myself and I have to be seen by a lot of people, but then goes away very quickly.
That's cool. No, I get that as well. That I'm totally the same and shy. I'm always nervous on the drive in the morning on the way there.
Yeah, that's the time I'm nervous, more nervous. Yeah,
I always
sometimes.
have to pull over and have a little nervous wee. I do. Like,
Oh no. I think it's very good for us that we are two, we are a couple, so we can, sometimes one is not so great during the day, and so we can rely on each other for that.
On that part, it's very helpful. You always know the other will get it if you don't,
Yeah,
and you
that is
trust
cool.
the other, and that part it's very, very good to us.
And it happens. Sometimes we are in a wedding where sometimes I don't understand the couple, or it's like I understand them, but I don't really get them, and Rodrigo does. And then sometimes the other way around.
The other way around, yeah.
So he gets more comfortable with the couple, or maybe it's me, but we are two, so the odds are better.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds great working as a duo. I'm gonna train my wife up. I'm gonna shoot as a duo. It sounds so good. It does. It sounds great.
Sometimes it has some bad parts. For example, if you're a bit too stressed, it's always easier to talk not on the best way towards your partner.
We just need to acknowledge that you're doing this, stop it, and then it's okay.
That's a very good pragmatic way of looking at it as well. You two are just so good. It's great. Cool. I think we've got time just for one more question, because I've kept you a long time here already. Let's say last question. What, and a nice light one. What, in your opinion, makes a good wedding photographer?
I think maybe someone that really cares about what he's doing, and I don't know.
That's so true, though. That's so important.
Yeah. I think commitment it's probably one of the big parts, and I think it's not only commitment; it's also the need to try to get stuff, not for prizes and awards, but for the couple, things that are really that are important.
That's what I meant when I said someone that cares, because you have to care about the couple. You have to care about what a wedding is and what you're doing there.
Yeah, it's two completely different things. So it's the more emotional part. So you have to be able to get there in your pictures. But also you want also the creative parts where they trust you for that should be also always on your focus. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, totally.
I think that's what really makes the difference.
This is so much more than just photography. So I think a good wedding photographer has to be a good photographer as well, and all the rest we talked about.
Yeah, and you have to be nice.
That does help. That is true, though, isn't it? Yeah, it's true. And you guys nail it all. You've got all those things.
Thanks.
Hopefully.
Oh, guys, thank you both so much for talking to me. I've really enjoyed that, and you shared so much. I just found it so interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an honor talking to you both. And as I said, anyone is listening, do head to the site thisisreportage.com, and I'll include links to their site and that specific reportage award we spoke about as well. And hopefully I'll see you both again at some point. I don't know when that will be, but hopefully sometime.
Well, hopefully. Are you going to have a Christmas party this year?
Yeah, I don't know.
If we can go even.
It's just so changing all the time, isn't it? Things. I
definitely miss going to the UK. We like to go there every year, almost normally.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I want to go to Lisbon again.
You should do the Christmas party here.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. That would be good. Awesome, guys. Well, you two both stay safe, and I hopefully I will see you. And yeah, it's been great chatting. Thank you.
No, thank you so much.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.
You've been listening to the 43rd episode of the This Is Reportage podcast. Philippa and Rodrigo are so lovely. Love chatting to them. Hope you enjoyed it too. Head to thisisreportage.com for a link to their website, the specific reportage award they talk about, and a link to the members-only critique video they did for us. Members have instant access to this, as well as over 17 hours of other educational videos. We also have 42 other episodes of the podcast released, with photographers such as Yves Schiepers, Tyler Workin, Sanna de Block, Sam Docker, Dominique Shaw of York Place Studios, and many more. If you're not yet a member of TIR, check out all the benefits of joining us, including an unlimited number of images on your profile, 60 Reportage Award and 18 Story Award entries per year, invites to our physical meetups and parties, exclusive discounts, over 17 hours of educational videos featuring tips and advice from some of the world's best photographers, with more videos added regularly, and much more. Deadline for our next round of awards is 23:59 BST on 23rd of September 2020. We've also just launched our sister site for documentary family photography, This is Reportage Family, which also has the same awards deadline. No poses, nothing staged, this is Reportage. And this is bye for now. Oh?
Sorry. We lost you.
Yeah.
Let me stop. I'm going to stop that recording because that's I was...
Sorry. This is being harder than we thought.
I got to keep these bloopers in. I have to keep them in.
I was going to say that. Keep the bloopers.